Hey guys, Doodle here, and wowee, we've actually come to the end of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. We've got two last courses here that I thought would be kind of fun to go through. For good measure, I 200cc'd every single one of them. Perfect stars, first every time. So hopefully that makes you trust my thoughts and process on this, and let's talk about it. Woo! Alrighty, so we're starting with the Acorn Cup, and with it we're starting with Rome Avanti. It's a Mario Kart Tour stage, another one of these different locations from around the world. This one specifically is Rome, Italy, and I'll say first off, I do like the lighting. They really nailed this romantic, warm energy, but I think otherwise, the actual look of this stage, it's just fine. These sort of blocky buildings, they sort of begin to feel the same between all the different European stages. They do their best to build out these simple versions of iconic locations. We're going through the Colosseum, we're seeing beautiful statues, other things about Rome that I don't know, but I'm sure are accurate to the city. But I think that overall, because they can't really push the details that much, it all feels a little too simple and blocky to feel too distinctly like Rome. But I will say that the course itself is fun. I like that we have another one of these sections where the different players can crisscross. It's fun that every single round is a different part of the track. You get to see a bunch of different areas, which is always really fun, and at least makes it so that it never gets too stale or boring. I don't think anything about the design of this course really stands out. It's another one where we're just, making a lot of gradual turns, maybe a couple that are a little sharper, but I think that it's overall very standard. But I will say, of all the Mario Kart Tour stages we've had, I think this one's nice, It has a good look, it's not offensive in its course design, and I think it's fun. I don't know if I'll ever be hungry to come back to it, but I think it'll probably stand out to me in terms of the different courses that we've had from Mario Kart Tour. Oh man, DK Mountain. If you're trying to hit my nostalgia bone, this is one of the front runners for sure. The music, the cute graphics, we got these blocky mountains, a DK cannon, you're sashaying through the sides down the freaking mountain. It is so cool. I love DK Mountain, and I'm actually so stoked that they brought it back. I was worried we were not going to get any Double Dash representation, but no, they did it. They brought back DK Mountain, and I feel like it's an obvious choice. I mean, for one, if they're gonna have to go with very simple, budget-friendly, blocky styles, then I think the GameCube games are perfect for that. They perfectly match into the style. They're able to feel up-res because in comparison to the original GameCube routes, these feel way better. It's awesome to see the revamped lighting, things feel so crispy and fresh, and I think that the course itself is so fun. I have to imagine this is one of the first courses in Mario Kart history that had the sort of cannon effect where you jump into something and then get sent flying through the air. I can imagine a lot of more hardcore people are like, oh, I just want to go, I wish I could go faster through. But sometimes it's kind of nice to give your hands a little break and let your eyes actually take in the scenery. And then I love that after that you get to go side to side all the way down the mountain. You have these giant rock balls coming down, smashing into you, especially on 200cc where you really have to take advantage of the brake button. When you nail it, it just feels so good. You're going so fast, you're making these slides, you're holding the brakes, you get a perfect purple boost. I love the look of this stage, I love the sound of this stage, and I'm so happy they brought it back for DLC. Oh man, and then you're telling me we have Daisy's Circuit right after DK Mountain? It's two hugely nostalgic courses for me. I was a huge lover of Mario Kart Wii. I loved turning the little wheel around, and I played that with my brother so much when we were younger. This stage is so beautiful. The original had a very, very yellow-orange sky and look to it, which was really cool, and I imagine an attempt to reference Daisy and her color palette, but I actually really like that they kind of gave the sky and atmosphere a little more nuance in this remake. The seaside energy is perfect, and I'm wondering, did this and Daisy's Cruise come out in the same game? Because I don't know if everyone else has noticed this, but I'm just realizing that Daisy's cruise ship is in the background, which feels like such a fun connection to the other Daisy stage that exists. So her having her own stage is really exciting, and I really love that they brought so many fun, flowery Daisy details. We have Daisy flower windows, we have these beautiful fountains of her and Luigi. Again, I feel like because this is a retro stage, the cartoony, blocky style really works for me. And again, some of it is just me remembering the older stage, and now seeing it look better is enough to get me excited. But I also feel like because it's meant to be more cartoony, more vibrant, not based on a super real world location, I feel like the cartoony style works for me. This is such a good rendition of Daisy Circuit's track. They've really nailed the sort of Italian seaside energy. It's so relaxing to drive through, and every once in a while Mario Kart has these stages where I'm like, I wish that we could have a full game set in this universe. So yeah, overall, big fan of Daisy Circuit. I do think I'll be coming back to this one a lot, and I just want to hang out here. I'm like, let me just park my car and I'll stare at the screen for a bit. Alright, and then our last course for Acorn Cup is Piranha Plant Cove. And I was so excited when I saw this course announced in the trailer. I'm a huge fan of Piranha Plant. I love Petey. I'm so excited that he got brought back to this game. I have a Piranha Plant amiibo. I love to play Piranha Plant in Smash Bros. I love plants in real life. I think me and Piranha Plant connect on a lot of levels. And yet, I'm really sad to say that I actually think this course, it's kind of, I will say mid to be nice, but I actually think it's my least favorite of the 4 in this one, and I think it might be one of my least favorite of the tour stages in general. I think the concept is really cool. I love this idea of a nighttime ocean location because I don't think we've really had any other nighttime underwater scenes, so it's cool that we have something new. I love the idea of ruins set in the ocean, Piranha Plant iconography in these ruins and etched into statues. But I think other than that, the stage just feels really barren, and it feels like they potentially just took off more than they could chew. There's a lot of shots in this stage where I feel like I'm just looking at rocks. Rocks that don't really have any sign of maybe moss or algae. They don't have any piranha plant aspects to them. And they could have just added a lot more detail if they wanted to do a stage like this. If it had been a part of the original Mario Kart 8 courses, I feel like they would have totally nailed it. But because they're trying to go so simple, it just ends up feeling lacking for me. But I do really love the fish that they've added. They have these puffy little Piranha Plant anglerfish, which I think are really cool. I love seeing what looks like to me the N64 eel swimming through. He's really fun. I think the course itself, it's nice. I think that because the visuals are so boring, the course itself kind of has to make up for it, and I think it's alright. We have decent little ramps that take us up into fun jumps. We have some nice turns, good little skid sections. It's cool, again, to have these crisscross sections. I like that we got to go perpendicular to people who are driving. But yeah, you know, for what is otherwise a really cool cup for me, I feel like Piranha Plant is kind of a sad one to end on. I think Acorn Cup is otherwise really nice. I think Rome stood out more to me than some of the other city stages. We had 2 killer retro stages with DK Mountain and Daisy Circuit, which I really liked. And then Piranha Plant Cove, it's just fine. Alright, and now we move on to the true grand finale of the Mario Kart DLC Booster Pack, all the other words. We've got the Spiny Cup. And honestly, it's kind of hard not to feel like expectations are high. We've had so many courses, so many different locations we've gone to, and so it's hard not to feel like the bar's set a little high. I want it to go out with a bang. And so first in Spiny Cup, we're starting with Madrid Drive, another of the Mario Kart Tour stages based in a city, and this time, as the name suggests, we're in Madrid, Spain. I want to come at this as good faith as possible. I think that had this stage been one of the first tour stages, I would have been very excited because it's nice. And it has a lot of really cool locations that you get to drive through, which is potentially the best part of the stage. We get to go through city plazas where the Wiggler's hanging out. We get to do a nice little hairpin turn through a train station. And my favorite part is I love that we get to drive through a museum, and they have these really nice Mario illustrations on the walls and a piranha plant smashing its head through the wall. I think these sets that we get to drive through do help Madrid to stand out. But unfortunately, because we've had so many of these daytime city European stages, it's hard for it not to feel super similar to the Berlin stage that we had or London Loop. And look, I admit it, I'm an ignorant American, and if I had lived in one of these stages, I'm sure that I would really appreciate the references and the tiny details and shout-outs to different parts of their culture and history. But I don't know, guys, I feel like a lot of them start to feel the same. Some of it also comes from the fact that they're reusing these similar feeling buildings, which keeps it from feeling too unique. The course itself is fun. It's good, but nothing is that memorable to me. I think because I don't do it over and over and over again like I do with, let's say, DK Mountain, where you're immediately taking those iconic turns down the rocks. With Madrid Drive, I don't think that I'm really gonna ever want to come back and play it that much, but if it does come on, I want to play other stages in this cup. It'll be cool. I'll enjoy seeing it. Next up, we have 3DS Rosalina's Ice World, originally from the 3DS Mario Kart 7. And I've actually never played any of the handheld Mario Karts, so I really appreciate that they're bringing some of those stages to this DLC, because I really don't think I would ever otherwise interact with them. I also have to come clean, guys. Be nice. I'm not a huge Mario Galaxy fan. I'm sorry. I just have never really been into those games, and so I'm not sure if this is in specific reference to a certain part of that game or a stage. And at first I'm like, does Rosalina have anything to do with ice? In a funny way, it's giving me Frozen Elsa energy, like from Disney. The lighting is so beautiful, and I truly love any time we can take a classic icy cool blue winter world and spice it up a little bit with different colors to revamp its energy. Because they have this giant beautiful space sky right above us, it gives this stage such a different energy to it. The center, I guess I would call it a tower with the solar system collapsing in on itself, also looks so beautiful. It's a mix of snow and sparkles that are coming down from the sky. The course itself is also really fun. I love that we get a chance to either go under the water or above the ice, and especially at the higher speed difficulties, you're just zooming over that ice, which gets a little crazy. There's a fun mix of slidey turns, and I like that you have this chance to go for an outer turn to hit these speed ramps. That's fun. I do think that this stage, I don't know if it was like this in the 3DS version, but some parts the camera has a really hard time following me. If I'm making a slide through that first little hairpin turn, the camera frequently just stares directly down and I just cannot see anything. I will say this stage doesn't feel particularly good on 200cc. Could be that I haven't really mastered it yet, but there were more times than I'm used to where I just slammed into walls at like a crazy speed, and it felt very hard for me to like navigate around. But otherwise, this is a new favorite of mine. I really love the look of this. I love that we're having more wintry, almost Christmas energy with our stages, and the space twist really makes this one unique and memorable. Next, we have SNES Bowser's Castle 3. What a title. Yeah, as the name implies, it's from the SNES era, which is again another one that I've never played. It's a little too old school for me, but I can just tell that they gave this a major facelift. But even in the fundamental course design, they've added so many little switch-ups that make this course feel really fresh, even though you can tell it's from an OG Mario Kart game. The addition of the anti-grav little slide at the beginning I think is really fun. I like that in the middle we have these really giant curves where you can make really nice big slides through. It feels so good to play. And then they've added these weird little walls in the second half. On the one hand, I think they look really cool and they are fun if you get to the top, but they're a little jank at faster speeds. If you get caught in the center of them, you're gonna kind of like ping pong back and forth, which is a little weird. And then at the very end, we have some thwomps, which are super fun if you get a chance to do little tricks off of. I think that's really cool. This is one of the ones where I actually feel like even though it's really simple, it fundamentally feels really good to play. The spaces are nice and wide, so you have a lot of room to make really over-the-top skids. It looks so fun. I love that they've really gone all out, reusing a lot of their lava and fire to give this a really great atmosphere. They do have these giant lava walls where you can kind of tell the repeating pattern, so that kind of takes it away from me. But otherwise, I think they've nailed the vibe. The colors are great. You can really feel the heat glaring through. We have embers floating through the air. I also love that Bowser has just become the Mario crew's metalhead. His songs are always such a bop. I love the over-the-top metal with Mario Kart characters. It's just so funny. There's like a very fun juxtaposition with them. Overall, I think with SNES Bowser's Castle 3, thumbs up. I'm happy to see that they were able to take one of these simpler, original courses and give it so much extra life that makes someone like me, who's never played it, really love it. And now we're here. Wii Rainbow Road is our grand finale of the grand finale of Mario Kart 8. And I think we all knew it had to be a Rainbow Road. Well, I shouldn't say it had to be a Rainbow Road, but that Nintendo was definitely gonna pick a Rainbow Road. I love Mario Kart Wii, don't get me wrong. Of course, I actually have plenty of nice nostalgia for this, but it's not exactly the epic send-off I was kind of hoping for when it came to the finale of the booster pack. I will say it's really cool that they added anti-grav throughout the entirety of the course. It makes it extra chaotic as you're bumping into everybody else that you're racing with. The visuals are great. The Rainbow Road itself looks so good. I love that they added this sort of sparkly effect to it, and there's like these different rainbow color highlights coming off. It's a very beautiful looking stage. But I don't know, I think that ultimately I've played so many Rainbow Roads at this point, and I'm like, is this the best of the Rainbow Roads even? For me, I don't think so. So it's cool, it's fun, I have a good time playing it. I do think this stage has a nice mix of wiggly roads that you can do tricks off of, different paths, which you can either go to the side ramps if you want, or if you're going fast enough, just jump straight over. And the rainbow space cannons, they're fun, you know, we love a good rainbow space cannon. I actually think one of the best details about this stage is that if you fall off, you just start burning up in the atmosphere, which is really awesome. And then when you get brought back, your character's still kind of smoking. That's the kind of details that I really like. But yeah, overall Rainbow Road, it's a great stage, but I feel like not exactly blowing my mind. I feel like when we ended with that new Yoshi's Island race, that was really exciting, and I really loved the squeaky clean sprint, which also felt so new. So ending on Wii Rainbow Road, it makes a lot of sense, but it's not really the most hype for me. And then before we wrap it up, something that came out of nowhere is the fact that this DLC ended up bringing 8 more characters to Mario Kart 8, which was awesome. An original complaint about the game was that the Bowser kids took up so many slots for characters, and then we also had weird ones like Cat Peach, the baby versions of characters like Baby Rosalina. I'm like, okay, I guess. I was always really hoping for a couple more interesting characters, and we definitely got them. Specifically for this DLC, which is the ones I'll go over, we got Funky Kong and Diddy Kong, which is so exciting. I love getting to see more of the DK crew, and Diddy Kong is such a classic. I'm actually kind of amazed he wasn't originally in the game, and the fact that it took us so many years to get him, kind of crazy. But I will say that Funky Kong kind of steals the show. I mean, the dude is driving with a surfboard, he makes these iconic different poses. Yeah, the energy that Funky Kong brings, big thumbs up. Pauline is an interesting one to see. I like that she isn't a princess and is instead very normal looking. If you didn't know any better, you would just think Pauline is just some lady off of the streets of some city. I really like that they've dug into her identity that they built up in Odyssey. She's a singer with a lot of charisma and energy to her character. Even when she does her tricks, she has like these little singing clips, and sometimes when she finishes the course, she'll also do that. But overall, yeah, Pauline, that's cool. Yeah, we love ladies in dresses. Bring more. And okay, I get it. People were kind of weirded out by the fact that we got another Peach X character, and specifically this is Peachette, which is, I guess, Toadette X Peach, which is a very random thing to reference. I guess she's from one of the older Super Mario whatever Wii U games they had her in. I will say, as much as it's easy to dunk on her being a weird inclusion, I love her. I love that Peachette has this really adorable cottagecore vibe. Her hairstyle is so cute. We got these two little braids coming off the side. She's got her little mushroom crown, which I think is really fun. It's also interesting that I believe her voice sounds really different than the original Peach. I can't tell if it's the original voice actress doing something different or if it's a different person altogether, but I actually think it adds a nice little vibe to Peachette. She's fun. I actually think I'll play her probably more than any other version of Peach, funnily enough. Wow, and that's it, guys. That's the end of Mario Kart 8. I can't believe so many years after the original game dropped, we got 2 years worth of DLC. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they were definitely some of the fun things I've just been casually waiting for throughout the year, and every time they dropped, I had a really great time going through every single difficulty of the new tracks that each course would bring. This has definitely been a quantity over quality situation, but I feel like as a means of giving us more Mario Kart content, I'll live with it, you know. I think it was pretty appropriately priced. The fact that they ended up adding 8 more characters, it really kind of made this the ultimate Mario Kart with so much content. On the one hand, the Mario Kart Tour app is ending, so I guess that it makes sense that they're trying to save all these stages before it essentially becomes impossible to play them. But on the other hand, I think a lot of the retro stages play a lot better with the budgeted style that they ended up going with. That blocky look really worked for the retro stages and didn't feel as repetitive, whereas some of the city tour stages, I think they felt okay at the beginning, but now having one in every single course, it kind of makes me not as excited to replay these. But yeah, it's been such a highlight for my year, always looking forward to another round of the courses, and I feel so sad that it's leaving. I'm actually somehow still hungry for more, which is crazy because I've played all these courses minimum 5 times to get them on every single difficulty, and yet I still cannot wait for the next Mario Kart to come out. And the most exciting thing is that because this Mario Kart originally is from the Wii U, I really believe that the next Mario Kart is going to have such a big bump in quality, and I really can't wait. I have a lot of faith that it's going to be killer. Mario Kart 8, you had a hell of a run. You spanned 2 console generations, and you ended up being one of the best-selling Nintendo games of all time. And yeah, guys, that'll do it. Please, let me know. Did you guys like these? I know most of you were sick of the city tour courses, but were any of them your favorites? Do you love Rainbow Road? Because wow, you now have so many options. And yeah, guys, I'm a growing channel, so I really appreciate any comments, any likes, any subscribes. It means a lot, and I'm excited that next week I'll be talking about Super Mario RPG. Thanks, guys. Doodle out.